Morning guys, it's me. Welcome to an absolutely beautiful Lincolnshire countryside. I've got an update for you on the new Transit. I did tell you that I was gonna do all these repairs and film them so that you could all watch. It was absolutely chucking it down with rain the whole time that I was doing this. I was literally doing it under an umbrella to keep the electrical contacts safe. I didn't film any of it. However, I thought I'd come out here into the middle of nowhere on a beautiful summer's day and I'd give you a bit of a rundown on the work I've done on the Transit. First things first, let's have a walk around. So before I show you the front, I've got to explain this. Last night I went out for a few beers with a few mates, and I might have had a few too many. When I got home, I thought, I've got an idea. I've got all those decals. I'm just going to do it. I may be drunk. I may not be able to drive a motor vehicle, but I can put some stickers on. So I started doing it when I was a little bit tipsy. So anyway, I've put the recovery one on the front. It's supposed to be exactly the same as on Ronnie the truck. I've sort of come out this morning and I'm like, how drunk was I? Look how high I've put it. And the yellow doesn't really line it. I shouldn't have done it, but anyway, it's on there. It doesn't look too bad, does it? I don't think. Well, it looks all right. It gets there, but so now I don't know whether I could just get them to give me another one and I'll put it in the middle, but I could use this space for maybe a YouTube logo or some sort of advertising or something else. I don't know, but yeah, there you go. So nice new beacon look, so a lot safer. Approved flashing pattern there. Approved, you all know, don't you, all you recovery drivers? That's the still got these absolute Chinese crappy things. Do you know what, at night they're not too bad, but in the day they don't really do anything. I will replace them with the Durites, but as it stands at the minute, as long as we've got the main beacon, that'll do. So yeah, and obviously I've got my logo on the side, which is made up of Ronnie. Got Ronster on Charlie. So yeah, remember, I put it out to you guys. I was like, what should we call it? And overwhelmingly it was Charlie. So Charlie Cray was one of the brothers of Reggie and Ronnie. So we've got Reggie, Ronnie, Charlie now, and we've obviously got Penny, our support vehicle, that's got the compressor and everything in the back. But yeah, look at it. So I've done a job. I've done one job with it, and do you know what? It was faultless. That spec lift is faultless. I've checked everything. It has got a tiny little weep. I'll give you a walk round now and I'll show you what I've done. So obviously I've replaced the beacon. Now I need to cable tie up some of these cables. Some of you said, oh, can I film that? It's pretty basic. It's a positive, a negative, and then there's a flashing pattern wire that you just set your flashing pattern, and I soldered that and heat shrunk it. You don't need to see that. There's a million videos showing stuff like that. What else have I done? New hydraulic pump. Obviously that was a bloody nightmare, not gonna lie to you, because they sent me the wrong pump in the first instance. Now I'm not an expert in hydraulic pumps or electric hydraulic pumps, so I was trying to make it work. Ultimately it didn't work. So we had to wait for another one to come back. So I fitted this yesterday. This is my little poxy Chinese winch that is absolutely terrible. This is going to get removed and I'm going to replace it with a Rhino winch there, an electric one. The only thing I've got left, and you're probably wondering why the cover's not on, is because I can't get the cover on with this ridiculous cable that the last person has used. It's so old. It's so old that it's got no bend in it, so I can't get the cover over. So ultimately what I'm doing is I'm just putting a little bag for life over it when it rains. But ultimately that will get the cover put on properly, and I'm going to rewire all these electrics. So all this, and then the earth is going to be replaced properly. And then when I've done that, I can obviously fit a proper Rhino winch, 13,500 pound Rhino winch that will go on the back there. The only issue with that is it's all well and good having a monster winch, but it'll only winch to the limit of the traction of that. So if I've got the handbrake on and it in gear, it's all well and good having the winch, but if you've got someone who's down in a ditch, ultimately I still need to go and get Ronnie and use the big hydraulic winch. But we've got both options. So if it's someone that's just down in a little ditch, there you go. Right, I'll drop the spec and I'll show you the other stuff I've done. Okay, so it used to have a loader, so it used to have remote operation for the spec. What the last person had done is they had replaced the flow control valve on the hydraulic pump with basically a solenoid that just opened. So when I had weight on it, as soon as I pressed down on the remote, it dropped like a stone. And luckily, I'd only tried it with one of my own vehicles, but it dropped like a stone. And I was like, there's no way I can have that for customers' cars, like dropping them on the floor, literally dropping them from 3 foot. So it had to be replaced. The pump wasn't great. It sounded terrible. It sounded like it had cavitated. So that had to be replaced. I've then fitted this one. I couldn't be bothered with the LODAR system. It just was too convoluted. It was too and it was crap as well. It just wasn't very reliable. So do you know what? I've got a wired one now, but it works. It'll do the job. So here we go. This is now a little bit slower. So it is the first stage to there, and then it does take quite a while, but just talk amongst yourselves a minute. We'll get there. It's nice here, isn't it? It's a big field. That'll do. Right, I'll leave it there. So we've obviously got our pretty bog standard spec lift. There was no poles for these to make them smaller, for smaller wheels, so I've a local engineering firm, Sleaford Engineering Services. They've made me some on the lathe, made me some poles, so I've got those. Just need to get some clips for the holes they put in them. Then what I did was, I don't know if you'll be able to see if the light's any good. See in there, you see that pipe, which is obviously this pipe, the pipe to the ram, that needed replacing. I wasn't really banking on that, but there's a place in Sleaford called Kiowa. I've always known they were there, but I've never really needed them. Luke there, and I also need to give a special shout out to Alistair up at Hyack. He's been brilliant, loads of advice, because I am not an expert on hydraulics at all. So he's helped me loads on the phone, WhatsApp, sending videos like what's going on here, and they've explained stuff. So they've been really good. Also, you see that, you see on the state of my arms, I've got the bloody skin left. Changing that pipe in there. You ever seen them vet programs where they have their arms up a cow, like in a cow, and they're like working around in there? That's what that was like. So it was like 2 arms in there, trying to like fit a pipe to the stomach of a cow through its anus. That was what that was like. So yeah, let's give you a little demo of it working. Listen to this pump, it sounds beautiful. Ooh, snazzy, eh? I tell you what, it'll lift anything, this thing. What a weapon. I've also valeted inside, so we've got the carpet cleaner on it. It's all been absolutely freshened up, even the roof lining, it looks a lot better than it did. I've got a box. The box is going to go here. That's going to keep my jacks, my stands, tools, everything that I might need, that I need for operating a Spec. As it stands at the moment, I've just got it in here because I don't want anyone to nick my jack. I love my jack. In fact, there's my poles that I had made, look. So yeah, they've done me a solid on them. So they will be used for smaller cars. But yeah, look at it, it's lovely. Considering it's like 20 odd years old, it's not in bad nick, you know. I'm really impressed with it. But the price I paid, do you know what? It has cost me a fair bit to get it up to my standard. I wanted it absolutely gold standard, really. I don't want to be out in the middle of nowhere dealing with somebody's car and something goes wrong, or the lift is unreliable, or the pump stops working, or again, dropping people's cars when you're dropping them off at their house. That can't be happening, can it? So yeah, I'm really happy with it. It's an absolute beast. Heavy duty springs on the back. The job I did yesterday, relatively heavy, and it just lifted it fine. I didn't want to film it because it was my first job with it. I kind of wanted to be aware of everything it was doing. I wanted to see everything. I didn't want to be distracted by by having to film stuff. But there you go. So welcome to the channel, Charlie. You will see this working a lot. Anything I can do with it, it'll be getting used rather than Ronnie. Give Ronnie a bit of a break. Still got some cleaning up to do. It needs some fresh fluids. I'm going to change the oil in it. What else has it got to do? I think that's about it, really. A couple of little niff-naff jobs, but nothing major. It's now ready to be put to work. But yeah, there you go. So there's your update. Charlie's on the channel. Welcome to the channel, Charlie, with your terrible recovery sign on the front, but it'll be re. See you on the next one. Much love.
Don't look before you leave. What you give, you get to keep. So long, farewell.